Hi everyone, welcome to week 9. It's Mrs. Miranda here, coming at you live from Cincinnati. Just wanted to go over a few things for the week to help set you up for success. A couple of reminders. Week 9 signifies the end of quarter 1. That's a big deal because, you guys are in a year-long class. So at the end of each quarter, you earn your cumulative grade, right? So we take up all the grades and we put them together into quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. But for your year grade, the one that goes on your transcript for next year and that follows you, we're going to take all 4 of those grades and average them together. So while it's not a make or break deal if you didn't do as well as you wanted to do this quarter, it will help you in your final grade for the year if you do well in quarter 1 and within each quarter. So keep that in mind this week as you work through the work. Get through week 9, but if you find yourself with a couple extra days at the end of the quarter, go back to some other weeks. Make sure in the grade book you have everything filled in. Your grades are what you want. If you have a low quiz score, ask for a reset. And let's get this quarter 1 grade where you want it and help set you up for a year-long grade that is awesome moving into the future, okay? So that's a reminder about week 9. Reminder about live sessions this week. We're going to have a Monday reading workshop that's at 11, Wednesday writing workshop at 11, and then Thursday's weekly workout's going to be at 11:30. And I know, Collaborate is a new system for the high school this year, so there have been some bumps along the way. Some of them a couple times have been user error. I apologize, but I'm getting to know this new technology just like you are. And then other times there have been a server down and just some things that are beyond our control. So continue to be patient with us as we learn this system along with you and we get all the kinks ironed out, okay? All right, what else do I want to tell you about? Last reminder. Do not let quarter 1 close on you without completing the explanatory essay. And I think what I'm going to do is leave this explanatory essay video in here for those of you who are maybe getting a late start on it. I'll leave that in as a resource, and I'm also going to give you a resource for the story we're reading this week called The Scarlet Ibis. I'll post both of those in the announcements for you. But it's really important as we move forward. We're going to begin writing more and more and more. And this is our first go round of trying to get a full essay together. And those of you who've been turning it in, you've been doing really well. Remember, there's support in the classroom for you. There's a video here. There's a template within the left nav bar that you can use. So just keep in mind there are resources for you, and if all else fails, you can always call us. We get bored sometimes. Just kidding, not really. You've been turning in work, so we've been grading a lot. But we do want you to call us. We love talking to you. And that brings me to one other last point. Don't forget to make sure you're proctored. If you have a question about it, and there's quite a few actually who need to call us to get proctored this week, if you are questioning whether or not you've talked to either Mrs. Schrock or myself in person, you probably haven't. So we're pretty memorable like that. Just kidding. But make sure you call us and get proctored. We need to do that in quarter 9 too. All right, quarter 9. Oh, sorry. Week 9 of quarter 1. Okay, let's get into business for this week. I want to look at week 9. Like I said, if you finished up your explanatory essay, then well done you. Thank you for staying on pace with us. I think that it's really helpful if you stay within the same week that we're teaching. So this week we actually get to dive into some literature, and I'm a girl who loves a good story as much as the next girl, but this story, I'll be honest, this week, The Scarlet Ibis is what we're going to look at. It's a little dark, and I'm not sure how some of you are going to feel about it. So don't discount it because I said that you're like, oh, it's dark, I don't want to read it. It makes an impact. It leaves a mark on you after you read it. Basically it's the story of 2 brothers. The youngest is Doodle, and he has some physical disabilities and some health issues. And the older brother, just known as Brother through the story, it's actually a lot about him as much as it is about Doodle and about how he feels about having a brother. who has some physical disabilities and some things that make him different than other people. Um, it kind of addresses some different themes that I think a lot of us can relate to about pride and about guilt and about understanding that when we push too hard to try to get people to conform in a certain way, that sometimes it can end badly. It can end in tragedy. You know, I know a lot of you are here because you've shared with us that you've been bullied, and that's I don't know. I just think there are a lot of things that you're gonna see in this story if you dig deep that are some common threads that you can relate to in some way in your life, and it'll be interesting to hear your take on it. I'm really anxious to talk about this story with you. So just looking through writing workshop, remember we divide everything up into reading and writing workshop. In our writing workshop, it goes through the introduction. We're going to talk about characterization, and then we're going to review the elements of plot. Those are things that you've learned probably from like second grade up, but we just want to make sure that we're on target with those and that you're good to go before you dive into this story, because like I said, this story is pretty heavy. So there's an elements of plot quiz. Then I think you're going to like this You're the Author bonus assignment. We don't have a lot of wiggle room in our content for creative writing, so we try to give you an outlet within SWAT in the discussion board. But this is going to be an opportunity for you to kind of answer some questions about characters if you were to create them and create your own short story. So we'd like for you to post that. There's no attachment. You just post it directly into the your post to us on the Dropbox, and then copy what you do and put it in SWAT for the week, and let's have some fun looking at each other's ideas, okay? So that's the writing workshop. Then in the reading workshop, obviously we're going to get into the actual story. These are the story pages. You know, the interesting thing about this author is that if you dig deep and look through, you're not going to find much else from him. But this story, like I said, really left a mark in literature. So this is, remember, we have these stop and thinks just to kind of help you process as you go through. And like I said, there's 4 pages here, 5 actually, of the story. And we're going to go over it today in the reading workshop as well. So just keep that in mind. But once you finish the Scarlet Ibis, the story, then there is a quiz, okay? So if you're looking through here, really your only Dropbox assignment this week is this creative writing piece. And so we wanted to not overwhelm you in week 9 because we want to make sure that you have time to go back and look through the other weeks and get your grade where you want it to be, okay? So I think that's it. Be on the lookout for some things in the Message Center. We're going to be offering some kind of extra credit, some replacement grades this week. And then as always, just keep in mind that you have to look at this classroom announcement. We put a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to load this video that you're watching. It's already loaded in here, so obviously you clicked on it. I'll keep the explanatory essay video, and I'm also going to put in a Scarlet Ibis video for you as a resource in these announcements, okay? So, like I said, end of quarter 1, make sure your grade's where you want it to be by the end of this week. Make sure you've completed your explanatory essay. Make sure you've been proctored, and make sure you complete week 9. And do read this story. I think you're gonna be really interested. I expect to get some phone calls going, Mrs. Miranda, I can't believe this story. Why did you make me read it? But anyway, I think it'll be worth your time. So give me a call, and if you haven't been proctored, give Mrs. Schrock a call. Again, you've met Mrs. Felty last week. She's back from maternity leave. She is our resource teacher and a great resource to all of us. So if you need anything, you can call her as well. Okay? Have a great week, guys.